Hey guys, it's Carrie and Zach here from the Coffee and KO's crew. And Zach, I got a question for you. You ever wake up on a Sunday morning and think, man, I'll cook the family some breakfast this morning?
Yeah, time or two.
Have you ever noticed how you throw the sausage links up on the griddle to one side, you throw the eggs up on the griddle to the other side, you never cook them touching?
No, you don't ever want them to touch. It's weird.
Yeah, I agree, man. And it got me to thinking, why do we do that with our underwear?
I have no idea. That's a really good question.
Yeah, I think it is too. But let me tell you, fellas, Sheath has solved that problem. They have come out with men's underwear with not one, but two pockets to keep your eggs and sausage separated.
Thank goodness. This has been a problem for way too long. I can't believe it took, I'm 26 years old, 26 years at least, to come up with something so intelligent. The material is great. Everything about Sheath underwear is amazing. And what's even better, we have a promo code. Promo code Coffee and KOs. If you use the promo code Coffee, the letter N, KOs, at checkout, you get 20% off your entire order. It's a hell of a deal. And let me tell you, the underwear are well worth it. So make sure you go to sheathunderwear.com. Promo code Coffee and KOs. Make sure you separate the sausage and the eggs. And make sure you sheath your dagger. Sheathunderwear.com. Coffee and KOs promo. 20% off. Go get yourself the most comfortable underwear in the world. And don't forget to sheath your dagger. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Coffee and KOs show, a preview show, and the band is back together after a week off. I hope everyone had a merry Easter.
Yeah.
And, we're back. Big card this weekend, but guys, so much stuff to talk about today. And in this week off, we've really had so much news, so many fights come out, so many things happen. But first things first, Steve and Kieran, how was the Easter?
Easter was pretty solid. You know, it's weird in the COVID times. You can't really do too much, but we had a little mini feast going on there. And I was actually, not gonna lie, I was a little hungover on Sunday, so I was just tired all day and just ate a ton of food. So I can't complain too much.
Kieran,
I had a migraine, so I didn't go to my family gathering. My head hurt like crazy, and then I Uber eated some Popeye's chicken sandwiches. Spicy variety, and that was it. Yeah, that was my Easter, so it was pretty fun. It's pretty good.
That's phenomenal.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah. And I feel like this was a good week to kind of have an off week. It's very few and far between, really, since COVID's happened. The UFC really hasn't had many off weeks. So it's like one of those things where you get the off week, and now I'm ready for fights to start happening again. And this week is a good card. You didn't like it?
I didn't like the week off, man. I was missing it. Saturday was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of blah without it all, I think
you're like waiting for it, and it just never happened.
I think we got the Villanova, or not the Villanova, but the Gonzaga buzzer beater on Saturday. It was like the only sports thing that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
we had March Madness. We had both of those games back to back, so they did feel it a little bit there. But yeah, we were missing it for sure.
I don't think
the fight fans
to CTE being created on
nonstop 15 times in a row on national television.
Yeah.
I feel like I had a lot going on. So for me, I feel like I kind of needed that week off. I'm back to work full time, which I haven't been in a year. So for me, things are a little bit hectic. So I kind of needed that week off, but definitely by like Friday, Saturday, I was like, man, like we have nothing going on Saturday. So it's kind of weird. But Nico says, hey there, happy WrestleMania week. It's going to be a nightmare trying to watch MMA on the busiest wrestling week of the year.
Is it really
WrestleMania
week?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Nico, but I'm picking MMA, UFC, any probably MMA over WrestleMania, and that, me at 8-9 years old is not saying that, but me now as a 26-year-old, I am saying that. Listen, wrestling is not the same. back in the Attitude Era, man, when Stone Cold was giving the finger to people, drinking beer, and stunnering everyone. I'm all in on that. And DX telling people to suck it. Now I can't watch this prima donna type wrestling stuff. And the wrestling isn't even as good. The wrestlers suck nowadays. They're more athletic now, but the way that they wrestle is so shitty that I'm so disinterested in it. So and the storyline sucks.
The antics are gone too. Like the crazy wild antics they used to do, I feel like have just been maybe overplayed at this point. They have nothing new to do. I
remember Edge and Lita were going to have the live sex show, and my 12-year-old ass was extremely excited for that, But I don't know. It went away. Carlito used to come out spitting in people's face, but now we have coronavirus and shit. You just can't have these things nowadays.
Yeah, what's funny is actually on every night, my son is 3 going to be 4, and he loves to watch wrestling, but I won't let him watch any of the new shit. I only let him watch the old stuff. So we started from 98. We're on 99, but now WWE Network is now gone. It's no longer a thing. They moved to Peacock. Really? They moved to Peacock TV.
Oh, those son of bitches.
They don't have the old stuff on there yet because they're going through and reviewing it, and they're getting rid of like anytime there was a racism type storyline, they're getting rid of it, and so it's not going to be on there for a while. So they're even getting rid of some stuff like that. But yeah, on Peacock TV now.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're a Bellator fan too, right? Didn't Patricio win on, was it Friday night? So there was some MMA action going on. So I guess that was pretty big. And then that's this weekend too, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I think Patricio Pitbull is probably the best fighter outside of the UFC right now. And AJ McKee's not bad either. They're setting up that featherweight matchup. So that's pretty exciting. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch Bellator. I'm gonna be honest with you. I couldn't even find it. I tried to. Where
it's
is
on
it?
Showtime. You can only get it on Showtime.
Now. Yeah,
that would be why. Because who the hell has Showtime aside from Shameless?
Literally no one.
No one has Showtime because it's such a shit service. Like, put it on somewhere else. I even tried to illegally stream it because Scott Coker hasn't come out and said anything about illegally streaming. So I tried to find it, and I couldn't even find it. It wasn't even on the thing I was like streaming.
Not even the streamers cared.
I'll send you a website. Don't worry. Yeah, I know.
I mean, the one that, so I got the one that I use from Steve, and normally everything is on there. It wasn't even on there. It was incredible. Like, that's how you know Bellator sucks. Oh, so Boston Comment says it was free on Hulu and YouTube.
It was on YouTube. Yeah, they had the main card on YouTube. That is true.
That's actually awesome.
Man.
I do have Hulu. And obviously everyone has YouTube, but I have YouTube TV. I went on YouTube TV, but I didn't see it on there. So I was like, well, if it's not on YouTube TV, it's probably not on. You know what I mean? But yeah, Bellator needs to do a better job promoting because that's pretty bad.
They do a shit
job. You couldn't find it. That's a problem.
Yeah, seriously.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's fucking bad. Anyway, this week, lots of stuff's happened. And I kind of want to start, before we get into the matchups, I just want to talk about what the hell is the UFC doing with the Ultimate Fighter? This show takes a hiatus. It goes away, okay? Basically because the Contender Series kind of takes over. So it goes away, and now you're bringing it back. And it's kind of been hyped up. You got the UFC fans all hyped up for the Ultimate Fighter. And you end up kind of ruining that hype with Volkanovski and Ortega. Like, that to me, and it's so odd. Like, I almost feel like no fighter wanted to be the coach on the Ultimate Fighter because this fight was already supposed to happen. Like, it was already supposed to happen last week. And now that fight got canceled, and now all of a sudden they're your coaches. Like, I thought truthfully that they had the coaches already in place and they were just like waiting to make an announcement. It seems to me no one wanted to be the coach of the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, this was stupid. I mean, they just had a botched opportunity with anyone in the welterweight division. Like, give me Usman, Masvidal, Colby, Usman. Like, there were so many other coaches they could have had in this, and they just totally dropped the ball on it. Ortega, Volkanovski, my expectations are very, very, very low.
I mean, who wants to be on the Ultimate Fighter? You got to stay in Vegas for however long and coach a bunch of guys who really aren't, I mean, good. Out of all of the Ultimate Fighter contestants, maybe 2 last in the UFC nowadays, especially since the talent pool's so diverse now, especially with all these other promotions popping up left and right and fighters getting signed. But I mean, I think the biggest problem is you got the least marketable UFC champion in Alexander Volkanovski, and honestly one of the nicest guys, and non-confrontational guys and Brian Ortega to be on this show. What sense does that make? None. It makes absolutely no sense at all. I understand you might want to try to build their brand, but who's going to be genuinely interested to watch Alexander Volkanovski and Brian Ortega host this show? The show was already struggling for views, and now you take the least marketable UFC champion in personality, Alexander Volkanovski, and put him on the show that was struggling for views in the first place. I don't know. I thought Dana White's Contender Series killed off the Ultimate Fighter. I really hope that this does. It was a good concept at first, but this is just I don't know, dumb.
No, it's a fun show. Like I do enjoy going back and watching some of them when you have like Rampage, Rashad Evans, and then like Conor McGregor was with Uriah Faber, and those are fun, but like you're tuning in for the coaches. You're really not tuning in. The fights are fun, they're okay, but you're tuning in for the coaches, and this is just not moving the needle for me. I'll tune in, I'll watch it, but like I said, expectation super low.
Yeah, I'm not excited about it now. I was pretty excited for it to come back because it's like one of those nostalgia things. Like I feel like, the Ultimate Fighter was such a big deal years ago. And so like, yeah, they're bringing it back. It's going to be awesome. And then like that, like I like Volk. I do, but he's one. I would say, honestly, he might be the least marketed champion in the UFC. Like he's just not marketed at all. And I like Ortega, and I think Ortega is more marketable than Volk, but even so, like he hasn't even really got to that level yet. Like for me, when you have like Steve said, everyone's there for the coaches, and there are so many better coaches that they could have done rather than this. I would have do Leon Edwards, Nate Diaz, put those guys
literally,
on there.
literally better.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Nate Diaz wants nothing to do with anyone. He doesn't want to coach anyone, but I mean, that would be pretty sick. Then they had like the Conor Habib talk for a while, going to be coaches. It's so weird that those two ended up being the coaches. Like that is the most like buzzkill news probably of the week.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I just they literally any other UFC champion other than maybe like Figgy would have done it for me. I mean, you could tell me this isn't a freaking great idea, right? Tell me this isn't a great idea. Amanda Nunes versus Valentina Shevchenko, Ultimate Fighter coaches.
Yes,
let them take off some time and build up to a huge fight. That'll do ratings, Hey, it just doesn't. I don't know.
Why not do Petr Yan, Aljamain Sterling in the rematch? That would be absolutely electric.
There's
Jones, so many. Right. There's so many other options. So many.
Right, yeah. Petr Yan versus Aljo would have been freaking phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
I don't know. But now you have a guy that's fought once in the past 2.5, 3 years in Brian Ortega, and you have a champion that's probably the least well-known in the UFC.
And not a very exciting one at that, like in his fighting and his personality.
He's extremely good. Like he's great technical, whatever, but he's not really a draw, I don't know.
Nico says, what's even weirder when you think about it is why you go back to this format when Dana is just going to do a shit job of promoting these fighters once they get out of the Ultimate Fighter house anyway. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like how many early on UFC, the first one, the second one, like those guys were promoted pretty well and actually lasted, but that was when the talent pool was so much lower than it is now. Like the Contender Series, I enjoy that. And we've already seen contenders. I mean, we've seen a lot of flops as well, but we've seen a lot of guys. Yeah, it is. Especially like, I feel like you look at like a lot of the heavyweights that end up going, like we saw Vandera, we saw Parisian, like those guys really
Kimbo Slice when they put him in it.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about Contender Series.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, not Kimbo Slice was not in the Contender Series.
I feel like a lot of the heavyweights. I was like, shit, Kimbo came back from the dead to fight in the Contender Series. You talking about Baby Slice? I don't know. I do agree with Kieran a little bit. I do feel like it is getting a little bit stale. I like it. I think more because it gives me like some MMA to watch in the middle of the week more than anything else. Not necessarily the talent. It's more so something to watch in the middle of the week, especially they normally do it when, aside from baseball, there's really nothing else on. So I think it's a good time that they do it, but
also with COVID too, you kind of have to imagine there could be easily some complications going on. And if someone gets COVID, it shuts down production. This could get dragged out. I just could see this kind of being a nightmare in multiple different ways.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing that frustrated me the most. Look at how slow this division is moving anyway.
Right.
Like this, I mean, no top contenders are fighting each other. The Zabit hasn't fought since 2019. I mean, nobody at the top is fighting each other. Max is looking for fights, and he's willing to take them. Calvin Kattar and Max Holloway have been pretty much the only active contenders. I guess you could throw Korean Zombie in there, but no one in the top 5 is moving. So, like, the next title shot's kind of like, oh, whatever. Like, Zabit probably deserves the next title shot more than Brian Ortega does after coming back from 1 win and then now getting it, you know? But now you delay that process even more. This fight could have happened on UFC 262 that only has 1 title fight, and it's for a vacant title. This fight card could have happened on 263, the June card. But now we're going to wait 3 to 4 months for them to film this, and it's going to happen in late summer.
Yep.
Why? Like, why? You just delay this division. And I understand people have to fight and matchups need to be made, so maybe they're delaying it more so a clear number 1 contender gets found. But at the same time, like, you got guys like Yair Zabit who haven't fought. Brian Ortega's fought once in the past 3 years. Dan Ige and Calvin Kattar have been like, okay, we want to fight everybody, but no one wants to fight. I mean, the division's moving super duper slow. And now you're delaying the process even more by making this Ultimate Fighter thing happen. It pissed me off in every which way.
I don't even know in which way it was a good move. Like, I can't think of, like, when we're breaking it down, it's literally wrong in like every single way.
Yeah. It was just dumb. But I mean, at least the girls will get to see handsome Squidward Brian Ortega out there doing his thing, you know?
I do want to take this show to Cage Fury Fighting Championship here for a second and talk about Katag Paliv, who lost his finger in a fight on Friday. That was so funny thing is I thought that, or I was on April Fool's. I swear that this was an April Fool's joke. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, there's no way this man lost his finger. CM Punk is on commentary for Cage Fury Fighting Championship.
What?
Yes, CM Punk is on commentary for that.
I might have
that was my first reaction. So I'm reading an article about a guy losing his finger, and then I saw in the headline CM Punk commentary, and it instantly I was drawn in. I'm like, this is incredible. Like, I didn't think that he had anything to do with MMA whatsoever. Plus, what the hell does he even know about MMA to be commentating on it? But anyway, yeah. So this man got kicked in his finger, and it was basically dislocated. Then his opponent grabbed his, like, they were like kind of in like I don't know, almost like in the clinch, and he like grabbed his finger, and his finger got ripped off clean. And I'm like, what? No, this is, they showed a picture. This dude's finger is gone and they couldn't find it. So CM Punk is like, wait a minute. His finger is gone. Like, his finger is literally gone. They couldn't find it. They make an announcement in the arena that
for people to look for the finger.
Yes. Yeah. They're like,
everyone look at below your seat.
Everyone needs to
It's
look
like
for
Oprah. Everyone look under your seats. You get a finger.
So what's funny is the finger was in his glove. It had gotten detached and went in his glove. And to make it even crazier, he was mad the fight got stopped. He wanted to keep fighting. He did not know his finger was gone. How do you not know your finger is gone? I get like a little bit of baby scratch, like a paper cut on my finger, and I'm bitching about it. This man lost his whole finger and is fine and wanted to keep fighting. And you know what's even worse? He lost by TKO. Like, not only did you lose your finger, but you technically lost by TKO. That is just, man, that's a kick in the nuts if I ever heard one, man.
I know they found the finger in his glove though.
Yeah, like the first place you should have checked to begin with.
Yeah,
before making the announcements.
Wrap his glove.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah, man, that's we just keep saying, like, we've seen it all. We've seen it all. The dude's ears falling off, was that not too long ago? And now the guy's fingers falling off. It's like, what is next? Like, the guy's nose is going to get pushed in and he'll just lose his nose forever. We already saw
that with Mike Perry, kind of. That was pretty
true.
Nasty.
Over him, you got the split lip open, like all these things.
Anderson cracked his leg in half.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
I'm waiting for a cup shot to hit so hard that a dude's, like, testicle just falls out.
Just deletes. Sack. It just is gone. It just goes up and is gone.
If the UFC doesn't fix these gloves, these eye pokes are going to get real bad, man.
We're going to see an eye on the canvas. They're going to be making
the guy's eye will be
announcement.
lost. Or the guy's finger will be lost in his eye.
That's the day I stopped watching MMA. I'm not gonna lie. That's the line being crossed. Well, you imagine watching Belal Muhammad's eye just fall out after that fight with Leon Edwards.
Oh.
Michael Bisping's be like, "Here, I got one for you. Just throw
I got
this
my
in
extra
there.
in my backpack."
I don't know.
Oh goodness, yeah. I had to bring that up, man, because when I saw that, I'm just like, "That's freaking sick!" Like that is, and they got it. They reattached it. They reattached it. He's fine. They think that he's going to be able to fight again. Absolutely crazy. Like I said, it was on April 1st, and I'm like, "There's no way. Like this is a lie."
Yeah,
and
that's a funny joke. It's hilarious.
I was like, "Holy shit! This man really did lose his finger. Absolutely crazy." Czech Congo need Merca or Krokop's ball so hard that it went inside his own body.
Good God.
That could happen. Oh yeah, this is also true. The dude fought the whole round. Like his finger got detached
because he didn't know, right? Like he literally didn't know it was gone. And then as you said, the announcer was like, "Dude, I think
no way your blood pumping that much that it's just like, oh, shut up."
Don't know.
But then again, John Jones didn't know that he broke his toe. Like he snapped his toe off until after the fight was over. And he he was doing his interview with Joe Rogan, looked down and was like, "Oh, my toe is almost about to fall off."
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know. Also, callback. Brendan Schaub said Brendan Schaub back in I think 2017 said that Francis Ngannou was just another Czech Congo. Just wanted to take this second to shit on Brendan Schaub's
boom roasted.
I know.
Would curved gloves prevent the finger injury? I don't know, because the fingers are still going to be semi-exposed.
Yeah, they're always going to be exposed.
Yeah.
I don't think you can stop finger injuries from happening. I mean, especially with kicks coming and punches.
Yeah, if someone throws a kick and you put your arm up and it basically what it did is just graze his finger. Obviously, it's coming in at a pretty good speed, so I mean, it's going to break your finger instantly if it catches it, right? And so I don't know if the curved gloves would help that. The hands got to be exposed because you got to be able to throw up subs and all that stuff.
I mean, that's an absolute freak occurrence like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you prevent that without just having completely closed gloves. That is just an insane thing to have happen.
Nico says, I once saw a Bellator event where 2 fights were stopped due to groin shots that left the receivers on the floor in tears.
Oh,
that's because they're sissies.
I remember there was one Bellator. Bellator just is notorious for subverting expectations in the worst way possible. They just every big card they have, it seems like it disappoints monumentally. I remember it was a big deal that Douglas Lima was going up to fight Gegard Mousasi, and it flopped hard as hell. They had one heavyweight tournament fight that ended in a nut shot after 4 awful fights. It was awful. I remember inviting my friends over to watch a Michael Venom Page card, and it was the one against Paul Daly, and I was like, "Oh, the main event's gonna be crazy," and they all left before because it was so boring. And then that fight ended up being boring as hell. I don't know. Bellator is awful, yo. Bellator is awful.
This is why we don't do Bellator.
Yeah. Bellator is just disappointing in every which way.
I'd rather talk about one championship than Bellator.
Wasn't the Grand Prix this weekend is the big light heavyweight Grand Prix? I mean, that's the thing. You're gonna build that up in your head, and it's gonna.
But we're gonna be watching Bader versus Machida. Those guys, I just
watch them.
To me, Machida has been a non-existing factor in MMA for many, many years now. He's a distant memory.
The only thing exciting is you get Yoel versus Rumble.
That's
which
it.
I think it's well, shit, But I'm telling you right now, Bellator will find some way to fuck this up.
I guarantee you that fight will be boring because it's going to be Rumble's.
I guarantee you it will.
That because Rumble's first time back, so he's going to be gun shy, and Yoel is always gun shy.
Yoel hasn't won a fight in 4 years.
Well, he is. He's just so tentative. Lately, he fights so tentative.
Right. So
it's going to be a snooze fest. I mean, I'm going to tune in for sure. But also last thing, Mighty Mouse is fighting for one this week. So tune into that. If you're awake at 6 a.m., that's when it'll be on.
Yeah.
On TNT.
Yeah, on TNT. Which is it's more available than Bellator.
Yeah, it's better than Showtime. Yeah.
Jesus. Showtime.
All right, let's get to rate that matchup, Steve.
Oh man, so I was going through all the matchups that were booked, and I think I must have just blacked out for the last week because I missed pretty much all of these announcements, but they're huge. We'll start with we'll kind of bundle the first two here because not too long ago we had Leon Edwards taking on Belal Muhammad. Both of those guys have found new fight partners. Nate Diaz Nate Diaz is taking on Leon Edwards, which blows my mind because for Leon Edwards, I don't know what this really does to you except gives you exposure and a quick fight. But if Nate pulls this one off, man, you know, that's the number 3 contender right there. He's back into the mix. So I see from his point of view all day, Nate Diaz. I think Leon's going to run through him, to be honest. But if from like a 1 to 5, I don't hate the fight because you can't really count Nate Diaz out ever. But I really think Leon hitting his peak right now. I think he's going to blow through him just kind of like Masvidal did. So I'll give this one like a 3.25.
Oh, we're going decimal points here.
I'm breaking that down.
Go ahead, Karen.
I would say, so taking my personal bias out of it, I'd say probably about like a 3.2 because it's not really that competitive of a matchup. But for me personally, to watch Nate Diaz go in there and get his ass whooped by Leon Edwards, it has to be a 5, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't wait for this to happen. Nate Diaz has got to be one of the most overrated fighters.
Oh shit!
In at any time. I mean, I think he's good. I think he's skilled on the ground, and I think he's very good at outlasting his opponents by getting his ass whooped until they get tired beating his ass. Yep. But I just got to say, this is just a huge step up in competition. He's going against someone that's taller than him. I think just as long as him or longer.
He's longer,
quicker than him, more technical than him, hits harder than him. I mean, I even think Leon could wrestle Nate Diaz if he wanted to. I mean, I don't think that's the way to go, but if he wanted to, I think he could. Unless Nate pulls off some wicked, crazy. I mean, I know you love the word wicked, Steve, but unless he pulls off just some crazy submission, this fight is extremely one-rounded or extremely one-sided, and I can't wait to see Nate get embarrassed again. And I hope that he doesn't have some cut that ends the fight, so his legion of idiot fans are not just like, well, the fight just got stopped early. He loves getting his ass whooped for 3 rounds. Like, no. So we'll see. I can't wait for it. I think Leon takes him to the woodshed and spanks his ass.
I made the video with Lewis at Norton MMA, and we both picked Leon to win by TKO, and all the comments are like, fucking Nate Diaz, like, let's go. He's gonna whoop Leon. Those guys are psychos.
The way we get views is we're just gonna market this video as Nate Diaz is gonna get his ass whipped by Leon, and the Nate Diaz army will come for us. But I'll take all the views in the world. I agree. I think I'm happy that at least Diaz is fighting someone at 170 that is a 170er. I was getting really annoyed at him calling for 155ers to fight him at 170, which is the only way he would possibly win a fight because he's not beating any of the 170ers. So I'm going Leon in this one. I'm gonna go 3.5 though. You know, I get hyped up because it is funny as hell to hear Nate Diaz just talk on the mic because he is so stupid. So I do love to hear him speak on the mic. And to be honest with you though, people are so high on Diaz that if Leon goes in and starches him in round 1, he's going to get a title shot from it. That's how high people are on Nate Diaz. Like this is a perfect fight for him to put on his resume, and he goes out there and beats the shit out of Nate Diaz in 1 round. He's instantly got a title shot. So I know for you, Steve, you feel like it doesn't do anything for him, but because of Nate Diaz's name is such a household name, and he's so marketable that if he goes in there and beats the shit out of him, Leon now has all those Nate Diaz fans on his side. Maybe not on his side, but
not on his side, but they know who he is.
And instant title shot. Now he's become like it's the same thing with Masvidal. He's become now marketable to those Diaz fans, and now they're going to buy that pay-per-view to watch him fight Usman. You know what I mean? So it's a perfect move for him. Whereas the Khamzat fight was stupid for him. I think that was way too risky of a fight. I still think he might have beaten Khamzat, but I think Khamzat's a little tougher than Nate Diaz at this point. So for me, that was a risky move. This is a perfect business move for Leon Edwards, and I think that it's going to pay off.
The only thing is, I know from a fan perspective, like the Diaz army like goes all in for Nate Diaz, but is the UFC really going to hold that much weight for a Nate Diaz win with Leon? Do you really?
Yes.
Like, in today's world where he just got his ass kicked by Masvidal, his win before that was against an old Showtime Pettis, and before that he hadn't fought in 3 years.
The thing is, though, it's going to make him more marketable. That's the thing. Do you think Masvidal Do you think Masvidal really deserves the title shot now?
No, but that was only because Usman called him out, I think.
But Usman called him out because Masvidal is that marketable because of, and it all started with Nate Diaz fight.
No, Masvidal was big because of the Askren fight.
I'm telling you, Masvidal got way bigger because of the Nate Diaz matchup.
Yeah.
I think that was big, but I agree because the BMF thing, they made it a whole event. That was massive. Sold a ton of pay-per-views.
He went viral off of that Askren knockout. But let's be honest, a lot of casual fans didn't know who Ben Askren was, as much as everyone likes to believe that.
But they didn't need to. They didn't need to.
No, you didn't need to. But at the same time, when you get booked up to fight, I know when you get booked to fight against Nate Diaz, especially for this BMF title or whatever they made, it was going to be a big deal anyway. That's what took Masvidal to the next level. You think Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal would have sold 1 million pay-per-views if he just would have gone straight from the Ben Askren knee to the title shot?
No. Yeah,
hell no. Like, not even close. But it was Nate Diaz that made that entire thing happen. And the only reason why Nate Diaz is as big as he is because he got that bit off of Conor, you know?
But do you see that happening? So that was a BMF. That was a massive event. Now they're the co-main event at UFC 262 against a Nate Diaz coming off of that loss. I don't know. I don't know if it's really going to build up that hype as much as it did before.
Nate Diaz could lose 10 fights in a row and could be 50 years old. And people are still going to be all in on. It's just something about his personality. It's not. It's just something like it's almost the same thing as Conor. Conor could literally lose 5 fights in a row, and it's not going to matter. His fans are going to constantly make excuses, and it's constantly going to be, and he's still going to sell pay-per-views.
I don't know if you can take that many losses in a row. But what I think is when you take a loss, there has to be some sort of excuse. So say Conor goes in there and gets dusted by Dustin again. There's no excuse for that. That's when I think you see that downhill trajectory for him. Same with Nate Diaz after this one. If he goes in there and gets dusted against Leon, people can say, oh, he got lucky, blah, 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 blah. But if he loses again to the same fighter or whatnot, I think you see some issues. I honestly think Leon's going to go in there and friggin' head kick him.
I do too.
But this will get him a title shot. I'm telling you, because everyone's going to watch it.
Friendly wager.
I bet you. This is the thing. Who's going to watch Nate Diaz versus Leon Edwards versus who's going to watch Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson? The hardcores love that Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Gilbert Burns. Sorry, I know that's like probably another thing that you had on your list.
Spoiler, man.
You know, it's fine. The hardcores are going to want to watch that. But every casual fan is watching Nate Diaz versus Leon Edwards. And when they watch Leon Edwards go in there and put a fucking show on him, completely destroy him, like buzzsaw right through him and becomes a meme for getting shit on, they're going to make that fight. Leon Edwards is going to get friggin' 500,000 Instagram followers that night after beating him. It's going to go crazy. I'm telling you, he's going to get that shot.
We'll see, because Colby's still hanging around too.
The thing is, too, he needs that. He needs that.
He does need it.
100% Edwards needs that because he doesn't have the following right now, and that's probably the biggest thing against him. He's the least
people don't like him.
Yeah, people don't like him.
They don't like
him.
But
if he goes in there and he shits on Nate Diaz, he gets the following. There's no excuse to not give him a title shot. That honestly, at that point, it should have been 10 wins in a row for him.
It's going to cause it's going to cause a log jam because if Wonderboy or Burns wins, then you got those guys possible for a belt. Then you got Colby, and the thing is, if Wonderboy wins, Colby
should be fighting though. Colby should be fighting.
Colby fucked up. It should be Leon versus Colby, or Colby versus Stephen Thompson, or Colby versus Burns.
Exactly. Colby found a way to weasel out of 3 matchups. He weaseled out of the Wonderboy one.
Turning into the
Leon Edwards one, and he weaseled out. But people love Colby still. It doesn't make sense to me. People hate Leon for being on an 8-fight win streak and say that he doesn't deserve the title. But Colby, who beat a guy that's now on a 4-fight win streak and his only fight since getting stopped for the championship, deserves it more. That doesn't make any sense to me. But at the same time, Leon Edwards is going to boost like crazy off of this matchup because Nate Diaz is going to give him that launch pad.
I agree. I think it makes a lot of sense for him to gain a ton of followers, and he'll earn a ton of respect if he goes in there and finishes Nate Diaz, who's only been finished, I think, 2 times in his career. But I just don't think it's going to be enough to earn him a title shot, unless it's like a round 1 starching viral knockout. I don't know. I don't see it with Colby being there and now with Burns and Thompson in there. If Thompson wins, how are you going to deny him a title shot? Like, Colby's hanging in there. People are talking about Vicente Luque about to get a title shot. Like, I don't know if Leon's going to earn it that quick.
I don't see how they leapfrog. I mean, Leon already beat Vicente Luque.
Yeah, that one to me is out the window.
Thing, though, too. The casual fans aren't going to care. The viewership is what matters. What makes dollars is what matters. And I think Dana proved that by booking Kamaru Usman versus Masvidal again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So no matter who wins the Burns and Wonderboy matchup, people aren't going to be watching that like they're going to be watching Leon Edwards. Everyone's going to be like, Leon Edwards goes out there and beats Nate, no matter how he does it. And he gets on the mic and he's just like, I want that fucking title shot. They're going to give it to him. They're going to give it to him. Whoever the champion is, unless somehow Masvidal beats Usman and then you get a trilogy. I think that's the scariest thing for the welterweight division. That creates the logjam. That creates the logjam.
I agree.
If the winner of Wonder Boy and the winner of Wonder Boy and Burns should fight Colby next. They should fight Colby next. If they don't get a title shot immediately, fight Colby next. That's boom right there. That's a number one contender fight. And it's clear whoever deserves that in meritocracy.
That's
but
tough
Thompson coming off
for Thompson, yeah.
If Thompson goes Neal, Luque, beats Burns, and then he has to fight Colby, people will be fucking outraged.
Hey, Thompson will beat Colby anyway, to be honest with you. But I mean, like,
oh man.
It's tough. He's older, but at the same time, okay, sit out and wait. It's not like Colby needs to fight someone at some point.
I think Colby is kind of screwing himself. He's kind of doing the same thing Leon did that got Leon into the kind of water that he was in prior to coming back and fighting. So I think Colby's kind of screwing himself. I like Colby, but he doesn't, to me, like if you're not active, it's hard to solidify yourself a title shot or claim that you deserve a title shot. Yeah.
I mean, Colby's just ducking fights left and right. I don't think you deserve a title shot after beating Woodley.
Yeah, especially.
I agree.
Like everyone's making their name off of Tyron Woodley, kind of like everyone made their name off of Demian Maia, like an old, out of your prime, losing to everyone because everyone's figured you out. I mean,
I agree.
He can say all he wants about how he stopped Woodley and all this other stuff, but Luque finished him quicker than everyone else did. Does that mean that you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. I don't know.
Give me Luque Colby.
It's just crazy. I think what really messes everything up. Yeah, Luque Colby would be fun. Colby won't take that. I promise you.
Hell no, he won't.
Colby won't take that. He's scared, bro. I don't like saying fighters are scared, but like he knows which matchups are favorable for him, and he knows which ones aren't.
Right. Well, he knows he can get the title shot again if he wants it, and if he takes a risky fight in the top 5 and loses it, he goes down.
He's the backup right now for the welterweight title.
Right. Right.
So say Usman pulls out, he's now fighting for an interim title against Masvidal.
Will they do interim again?
They'll do interim. Of course they'll do interim. They need something. They need a title on the line. That's
because that division they're such a slow division.
Well, credit to Usman for actually fighting pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that he's
moving along.
Nobody's beating Usman though, to be honest with you.
No.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next one. And you did name drop Demian Maia there. So he's taking on Belal Muhammad. This is it's good for Belal Muhammad. He's getting someone. I think Demian Maia is still like a top 10 ranked fighter.
He's 8. This is a goddamn snoozer. I'm sorry.
It's a snoozer. Without a doubt, it's a snoozer. I'm not a fan of this fight. I mean, it's good for Belal. Like I'm happy for Belal. He's going to get treated right. He's going to get a top 10 guy. He can now jump into the top 10 with the win. Demian Maia is like 43 years old. Not looking forward to this one. I mean, I'd probably give this one like a 2, which is tough.
Yeah, I'm going 2 on this one, man. Like, all right, cool for Belal Muhammad, but like Kieran said earlier, a win over Demian Maia does absolutely nothing to me. Like, it's just a snoozer, man. Like,
I'm glad Belal's getting a step up after getting his eye poked out, but at the same time, all the people that said that he deserved an immediate rematch with someone that he was gifted a shot against in the first place, suck it.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
1. It's a 1 for me.
Oh yeah, we can move on from that one. That fight sucked.
Yeah, I was just happy for Belal, to be honest, and it worked with the Leon Edwards getting his guy.
It's a favorable matchup for him too.
Right.
Like I think.
What is Belal right now ranked?
Like 13
or 13. Yeah, he's 13. No, he's 13. Yeah. You're right.
Yes, I mean that'll probably. What's crazy? Like God, Kieran, you might be able to beat Demian Maia, bro.
He smoked Ben Askren out.
He's old. He did beat Ben Askren. No, I don't want any problems with Demian Maia. Demian Maia is taking me down, choking me out.
Bro,
listen, Demian. I mean, I'm not gonna say
jiu-jitsu.
I'm not gonna sit here and say he's totally out. Like he
if
could
I grew
easily
up wrestling, 100% I beat him. But
he could sink in something.
He could submit Belal. 100%.
Hey, 100%.
100%.
The thing is,
don't give me hope for this fight. Don't give me hope for this fight, Steve. It's still
1.1.
My thing is just look at all these strict, BJJ guys like Olynyk and all that. Like those guys, they just when they're old, they wear 1 or 2 shots and it's done. They can't. The chin's just not going to be there.
Me and my friend Jose were talking about this the other day. The era of I'm a jiu-jitsu practitioner. I'm going to come into the realm of MMA and win championship. It's not happening anymore. It's not.
No.
Like I mean, anyone by the name Gracie gets an opportunity on a big stage, and they always just end up putting up the most boring fights of all time. Or
What the hell happened to Kron
embarrassed.
Gracie?
I
think
mean,
he
he got
moved
his ass
promotions.
whooped by Cub Swanson.
Yeah,
what
that's
happened.
true.
I mean, the only one I think with a chance is like Brian Ortega or maybe Ryan Hall, because Ryan Hall literally fights like someone spamming button, or no, not someone spamming, but someone using cheese on a video game. Ryan Hall literally just goes out there and throws switch kicks and then like rolls back to it. If he wins the title like that, I'm riding at the UFC PI. That would be so funny though. If he just played,
bro, people love Ryan Hall.
I'm like one of those Ryan Hall stands because I love him because he's hysterical. Like, yeah, he's just funny as shit.
So funny.
But man, I like Ryan Hall's one of those guys I'm all in on, but I'm also like out on as well. Like, because
it's just all fun and games until he wins a title fighting like that. Imagine Ryan Hall fighting Max Holloway.
My man's 36 and there's only
hilarious.
2 fights in the UFC though.
Yeah.
36, only 2 fights in the UFC. He's got like an 8-1 record or 8-2 record. Like,
what could have been, man?
Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually a fight that we could talk about.
Fight him though, because it's tough. You can't box with the dude. He's not going to give you he will not give you an opportunity to punch him in the face.
He's a better Chase Hooper because he can he can stand, dude. He can kick. His kicks are pretty good.
Yeah.
No. I know. I don't rate Chase Hooper at all.
Oh no, he sucks. Yeah,
no, that was an insult to Ryan Hall there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was an insult to my boy Ryan.
But I like Ryan Hall, and he's got a fight coming up. We could rate that matchup on that one.
He's got
Ilia Topuria.
Dude, Ilia Topuria is good.
It's nasty. I think
really
I love Ryan
good.
Hall, but
Five. If
Five.
he can, I want to see him get to the title, cheesing his way there. Like literally, it's just like playing EA UFC and just doing the same button combos that are unstoppable over and over and over again. That's the way he fights, and I love.
He's a cheat code.
Yeah, but
honestly,
dude, Ilia Topuria is a savage. His striking is so good, and he's not even a striker.
Yeah,
that he just kind of developed striking. I think I love Ryan Hall, and I agree with Kieran. I'd love to see him fucking get to the belt, but I think Ilia Topuria is gonna steamroll through Ryan Hall, and I think because of Ryan Hall's inactivity, he might be getting cut if he loses. 36 years old, barely fights in the UFC.
His fight style is to the point where if he loses, he's going to get cut. Dana is waiting to pull the trigger on that. I promise you.
Yeah, and plus he backs out of every fight. Like, I'm not even that excited about that fight. Yeah,
nobody wants to fight him either, though. Like that's a tough part. Like,
no one wants to fight him.
No one wants to fight him because why would you? It's awful to prepare for. Like,
right.
You have to kick from distance, and he's going to roll at your legs. And if you get close, he's going to fall on his back.
He's going to snap your ankle off.
Exactly. Like,
yeah.
Good luck.
If he grabs a part of any body part, you're screwed.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah. He's going to just
as soon as you get close, he's pulling guard immediately.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. We're not even halfway through. Okay.
So we gotta go through it quicker. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We still got the Korean Zombie taking on Dan Ige, which surprised me because I thought Calvin Kattar for sure was going to get the Korean Zombie in this one. And this is an awesome matchup. I love this. Dan Ige, we saw him for like 15 seconds. He's ready to go, which I was surprised because he said he was going to take time off. I think he just had like a baby recently. But Korean Zombie, he's coming off that tough loss against Brian Ortega. This makes all the sense in the world. I have no problem with this one. I think it's going to be an absolute banger. We finally see Dan Ige taking on someone that's more his level. I think this is going to be a good one. I got to give this probably like a 4.5.
Yeah, I go 4.5. I'm happy that Dan Ige, put on the performance he did against Gavin Tucker, who we were high on Gavin Tucker, and it was a nasty performance. And he put him to sleep. And he calls out Korean Zombie, and he gets it. I love that, and I think that was a perfect call out for him. It's working his way up. Ige never has a boring fight. Korean Zombie never has a boring fight. Mm-hmm. That fight is almost guaranteed fireworks. I think I'm going to lean towards Ige in that one. Ige's got a hell of a chin, and Zombie's kind of been, he's a guy that seems to be kind of maybe declining a little bit. I mean, granted that the loss to Ortega is tough, Yair Rodriguez is tough. But, he's a little bit older. I like Ige. I think Ige is a guy that could be a legit contender in that division. He's fucking built like a brick shithouse too. So I like Dan Ige a lot. I think it's a perfect matchup by the UFC and perfect call out by him. And I'm definitely pumped for that one. So yeah, I go 4.5 as well.
I'll go 4.5 as well. I mean, I think I'll just do the same thing you guys just said. You said everything. Like, they're both exciting. So
I know the next
He's
he's
one.
not gonna miss.
The next one you'll get excited about.
Mm.
It's your boy Ciryl Gane taking
Yes.
on Alexander Volkov.
I've been
Again,
calling for this fight.
Yes, this again makes all the sense in the world. You have whoever wins this, deserves a title shot without a doubt. I know we're huge on Ciryl Gane. I'm actually not a huge Alexander Volkov guy. I think he's kind of a pushover, but we'll see what happens when he gets against Ciryl Gane here, who can pretty much do everything he can, and I think his ground game is going to be better than Volkov. So I think this is a 5. I think this is an absolute banger. It makes all the sense in the world. 2 very well-rounded fighters in the heavyweight division, which you don't really see too often. So I'm 100% all in. UFC Fight Night, so they get their own lone spot here in June.
Yeah, it's a 5 for me. I already think Ciryl Gane's going to be future UFC champion. I think if he gets by Volkov, it's going to be. I don't think Volkov's is a pushover though. I mean, he's put on a lot of size.
What the hell, man?
He does a good job of managing distance. He's tall and actually uses his jab and kicks pretty well. I just think Ciryl Gane is so much faster, more technical. But I mean, Volkov could shock you here. It's heavyweight. You never know what's going to happen. But I mean, shit. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I think the UFC is protecting Derek Lewis from Ciryl Gane because they know that he'll get absolutely demolished and beat to bits in that fight. So they're going to put him up against Francis, where he's going to get absolutely demolished and beat to bits. But anyway, yeah, I'm super excited for this. Get Ciryl Gane on the fast track to a heavyweight title shot. I think he's going to dominate the division for a long time. The heavyweight title picture's crazy. I don't know. So
murky.
We'll see. It is. It's just like, because now I don't think they want to do John Jones versus Francis because they don't want to pay the man. I don't know. I don't know what. This is the thing though. The winner of this fight, what do they do next? Because they're definitely in line for a title shot. They're definitely, they merit a title shot. But I mean, if you have Francis versus Derek Lewis, then I think you might even see, if they don't want to pay John Jones, you might have Francis versus Ciryl Gane before you have Francis versus John Jones. And that would be a travesty because I think Ciryl Gane's a real threat to beat anyone in this division on any given night. So I think the winner of this fight gets a title shot, but I think the winner of this fight, John Jones is going to get a matchup before. Because Derek Lewis, you can sell. He's pretty popular. He's funny, great personality. But the winner of this fight is going to get passed over by John Jones, in my opinion.
I've given this fight a 5 out of 5. I can't believe you said Volkov is a pushover, man.
I said that because of the Curtis Blades fight for the most part, but I'm not a huge fan.
Listen. If Ciryl Gane decides to wrestle, I think Volkov is 1,000% screwed. Like Volkov has zero wrestling game at all. Like that is not his game whatsoever. He was taken down how many times by Blades. I think Gane is going to have a strength advantage as well, but I don't see it going to that point. I don't see it being a wrestling matchup. I really see Ciryl Gane is very confident in his stand-up. Volkov very confident in his stand-up. I like it. I think it's going to be I feel like a lot of times heavyweight fights are kind of like boring, and then you get that explosion where like a lot of crazy stuff happens. I could see like honestly a lot of volume thrown in this fight. I could see both guys really good kickboxers. Volkov is a little bit taller, but Ciryl Gane is
man.
He's so big. He's like 6'7", man.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what concerns me. If Volkov was like 6'4", 6'5", Ciryl Gane would buzz right through him, in my opinion. But with the length, it's a lot. I mean, shit, Stefan Struve has a knockout victory over Stipe Miocic.
Yeah.
Like, people forget that. Like, that's a lot to deal with. You have to be smart with it. But
to me, like, if Volkov is able to like land a couple jabs, like a jab at heavyweight is much different than any other division. Like, he lands a couple jabs and just kind of picks apart Ciryl Gane. I'm not going to say he has no shot. I'm definitely going with Ciryl Gane and when I make my pick. But if Volkov comes in as a heavy dog, I'm throwing money on Volkov all day just because he is a very good striker, super talented, great kicks. And since he's got that new back tattoo, he has not lost. So I got to go.
True.
He's huge,
Volkov
too.
He's so big, weight, man.
Yeah. I'll tell you this right now,
Volkov.
though. If Ciryl Gane goes in there and buzzsaws, like just goes right through Alexander Volkov, no one's beating him in this division. Not Francis. I already think he'll beat John Jones. Nobody's beating him. I'm telling you right now, nobody's beating him. If he goes out there and he makes it look extremely easy, no one beats Ciryl Gane in this division. Not for a long time either.
Yeah, and I don't see it going that way. I do think Volkov is going to be able to hang. I think it'll go all 5 rounds. I don't think we're going to see a finish. Both guys, they do have power, but I think Volkov's smart. I don't know. He did just smoke over him, but I think for the most part, he's more of a decision guy, but I guess we'll see.
I can't wait for it. But yeah, also that's the thing. Volkov's takedown defense is pretty good against everyone. I mean, Curtis Blades is like a D1 wrestler, and that's a lot. I don't think Ciryl Gane has that level of I don't know, wrestling acumen, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a 5 though. And then the last one I had here, and we kind of talked about this whole division, but Gilbert Burns taking on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. This is UFC 264 in July, so we're getting booked out into the summer now, which is awesome. Could be probably the same card that we're going to see Dustin and Connor with the trilogy. This one, to me, again, I would put this as a 5. I really don't know how this is going to go. Do I think Wonderboy is going to be able to keep Burns away the whole fight? Probably not. I mean, I think interested
the
to
Dustin
see.
and Connor fight is also official, by the way.
Was it official?
Yeah,
I saw
they
Connor
both went on social media and announced it.
Yeah.
I
don't
know
think
the
UFC has
hasn't,
announced
but
it.
yeah, I think they both did though. So,
Yeah, and I think that will be UFC 264, so that'll be a banger of a card. And I do have this one as a 5.
Yeah, that fight card's got me horny. Yeah, no, that shit that I can't wait for that card. I mean, Gane, or no, not Gane, but
the kid loves Gane.
Burns. I love Gane. Gane is my favorite, man. Just large, light-skinned man, just like myself. Gotta love him. But Wonder Boy and Burns, I mean, this was the one fight, because I'm a big Wonder Boy fan. I was hoping Wonder Boy would get a title shot, just maybe fight Colby or someone easier. I think this is the toughest matchup in the division for him, because Burns has been looking incredible on the feet. I mean, yes, he got beat by Usman, but we'll see.
But he rocked Usman too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he rocked him. He dropped him early. Yeah, but the thing that concerns me is Burns got lit up by the linear shots, and that's all that Wonder Boy has. But with more speed and more technique. So that concerns me a little bit. He couldn't seem to move his head out of the way of jabs. Or also, he's a couple of months removed from getting stopped. It's a pretty quick turnaround. You know, I don't know. Everything's in line for Wonder Boy, so I'm hoping he gets it done. He's looked insane against Luque and Neal, so I'm hoping he gets it done. But shit, it's gonna be a banger no matter what.
It's hard.
A 5. It's a 5 for me. But like when it comes to making a prediction, man, I really don't know. Like I really don't know. That's a really tough one. I feel like all the other ones, there's a pretty clear cut person that we're all kind of leaning towards, and this one is one of those that, you know, it's really tough because like Kieran said, Burns has looked great. Even in the Usman fight in the first round, he looked really, really good. Then Usman made the adjustments. But you know, Wonder Boy has fought some really tough dudes in Jeff Neal and Vicente Luque, and has put on a striking clinic. Yeah. So that's what makes it tough. And if he's able to move around as well as he does and throw those, the jabs and everything else, and it makes it really difficult for Burns to take him down, I think that it's huge for Wonder Boy. And I think if Wonder Boy beats Burns, and he decisively beats him, for 5 rounds, he can
title shot,
pick him apart. And I think he poses a severe threat then to Usman. I think that's when everyone really knows, because I think Kamaru Usman I think that Gilbert Burns, obviously Usman is level 10, but I think that Burns is 8.5. You know, he's not really that far away from Usman. And I think we saw it in that first round. So I think, you know, if he's able to really keep his distance and pick apart Gilbert Burns, I think Thompson really has a shot to do that to most people in that division. You know, again, I think Usman.
I think he's going to dominate the striking realm, in my opinion. But I think it all comes down to can he stop Gilbert Burns from getting on top?
That's my thing. Is he going to be able to move around the cage enough for 5 rounds to stop?
Well, we don't know if it's going to be 5 rounds because
I think he stops him before.
It's a co-main non-title fight. They're doing it with Diaz Leon. It's the first time they're ever doing it. I imagine they'll give this a 5-round fight, but it's not 100% certain.
Yeah, we'll see.
I wanted to ask how you guys felt about Leon and Nate being a 5-round fight,
Love
even
it.
though it's not for a belt. We talked about that.
Certain fights you have to do it with. It has to be top 5.
It's they listen to the Coffee and KO's podcast because we did a whole show on that.
We did that.
I think more of them deserve 5-round. This one, I think it's only that way because they know Nate Diaz is going to get shit on early in the fight. And they're just hoping Leon tires out over the course of the 4th and 5th round, so that Nate has a chance, you know. But
right,
I we'll see, because Nate's not winning a 3-round fight against any elite fighter at 170 or 155. Let's be honest with ourselves. He's not. The only way he's going to win these fights is if he outlasts and just takes the punishment, and then they get tired from beating. This is the same thing I said about Tony Ferguson's cardio back in the day, and it wasn't a very popular opinion back then. But I'm just he kind of gets it was kind of tit for tat, or he gets beat early on, and then the other person gets tired because the pace that they're setting is insane. But also, you're just not going away. You're just tough.
That's kind of how we beat Connor too.
That's
you know,
exactly how we beat
both
Connor.
times.
He got his ass whooped until Connor got tired.
Yep.
Whooping his ass, and then I don't know. I definitely believe that if Wonderboy wins this matchup against Burns, he deserves the title shot. But it's probably not.
Maybe they go Leon Wonderboy for the title contender.
Hey, I
you know,
like that. Leon versus Wonderboy, especially because Usman
phenomenal
likes taking time
matchup.
off. Leon versus Wonderboy would be insane. I'd love that. But
Me too.
I hope they do that because really the UFC shot themselves in the foot in this division for booking Masvidal again when he didn't deserve it. But it is what it is. Money speaks or money talks.
There was actually Francis and Derek Lewis, which is also in the works, which seems like it's going to happen, but it's not going to happen in June. So it's supposed to. They try to push it for June. Francis said no, which I kind of agree. You know, let him enjoy his championship a little bit before getting back to training. You know, party it up a little bit. But I think that's going to be the fight that happens. I think that's going to be the first one. I kind of like, and I don't like the fight because it was so boring the first time, but I do like, you know, your first title defense. It's tough if it's John Jones or Ciryl Gane. I feel like why not ease your title defense with someone that he should really, you know, dismantle Derek Lewis. I think
you can build it up more if he goes out there and embarrasses Derek Lewis.
Yeah, like I think it's a good build up for him.
Yeah, see what the numbers are. Hey, okay, now you convinced me a little bit that's not a bad idea. Because at first I'm just like, man, the fight that everyone wants to see is Ngannou versus John Jones. But then again, Ngannou has to live up to that unbeatable aura that he has right now. So him going out there and knocking out Derek Lewis, I think that's the thing that does the most for him. I
would die if Derek Lewis knocked out Ngannou and just stole the belt from everyone. Everyone was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I would die. That would be hilarious.
That would be a very boxing thing to happen. That would be like
I want it to happen.
Boxing. It would shit. It would piss me off, but at the same time, I think John Jones would just be like, "All right, cool, I'm retired." Which I'm good. Yeah, like I'm good. Like not that I'm scared of like Derek. It's just like I'm not gonna make as much money.
That ain't gonna sell.
No.
But how much
if that happens, they're probably just get a rematch with Francis and Derek again, like a trilogy.
True.
Just, good God, man. I don't know, but I think Francis just goes through Derek. To be honest with you, so
yeah, should be no problem.
And on that topic, like how it is kind of a buzzkill when like your champ loses. Like if you lose the belt after you're on your first defense, like to me, like you got to build up Francis. Francis has that unbeatable feeling to him now. He goes out there and just throws up. And I love Derek Lewis, so I'd hate to see it, but it's not going to be boring like it was the first time. Francis is a different fighter now. I think that he should, without a doubt, steamroll right through Derek Lewis. And now you have, you know, obviously at this point, probably Ciryl Gane. I don't think John Jones is going to happen. I don't know if that fight will ever happen. Wow. I definitely don't think it's happening in 2021. So, I think Francis can fight. I mean, obviously it's going to depend on the Lewis fight, but I think that Francis could fight 2 more times this year. I think that he could fight in July. And if he dismantles Derek Lewis early on, he can easily come back and fight 1 more time before the year's over, which if John Jones doesn't come, if the money doesn't work out, which I think eventually they're going to pay John, or because I mean, listen, 50 mil is a lot. I would say 50 mil is a little far.
I think that was a stretch.
But you know, he asked for 50 million.
It was his coach asked
Mike
for it.
Winklejohn said he's like,
yeah. I think that was just a thing.
Also, Mike Winklejohn is fucking horrible. Anyway, but yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, I think Francis. I mean, I love the Ciryl Gane fight though. I get pretty amped up about that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Well, this is my thing. I think you make this matchup, and like you said, you convinced me on it, Zach, more than I even thought about before.
You're welcome.
It's a good warm up for Francis. You know, like go out there, say he buzzsaws. I don't keep saying buzzsaws. I don't know why I keep saying.
That's fine. I like it.
That's a good word. Yeah. That's a good word.
Yeah. Okay. Say he goes right through. Derek Lewis. Yeah. Buzzsaws Derek Lewis. Right. After that, I think the UFC's paying John Jones because you don't have a matchup there that's going to sell as much as that John Jones one is going to. You know,
people don't know Ciryl Gane.
Yeah, that's the thing. People don't know Ciryl Gane, and that's a high risk, low reward fight. If he goes out there, because he could very well take it to Francis easily. Just take it to Francis. And now you have Ciryl Gane as the number one guy, and him versus John Jones isn't selling near as much as Francis Ngannou versus John Jones is going to, you know? So I think they make that fight tail end of this year.
Yeah, I think you got to milk it too. You got to milk it too. Ngannou's 34. You got to milk that. You got to have him fight for the next 2 years very, very actively.
Yeah.
I did want to say if Derek Lewis wins the belt, he's going to retire. And that would be incredible. Yeah. And then Francis will just get the belt again. Derek Lewis wins.
I'll take that.
You have John and Francis match up for the vacant title.
There you go.
But I don't know. This is my thing. I think Francis wins. After he wins, you have to pay John Jones because nothing else makes more sense.
Or Stipe comes back.
Shit, I keep forgetting Stipe. Yeah,
Stipe's still there, man.
He's not retiring from what he said. So, but I think the only way he fights again is if it's for a belt.
Shit, do this. This is my dream.
Ciryl Gane,
dream
Stipe.
Scenario. That's my dream scenario, right? This is what you do.
I like
right?
that.
Francis beats Derek Lewis. You get John Jones versus Francis late in the year. Co-main event is Ciryl Gane versus Stipe Miocic.
For the number one contender.
Ciryl Gane is going to retire that man. I'm
I think he's just a well-rounded, more well-rounded.
Ciryl Gane will murder Stipe Miocic. I'm not going to
lie.
Well,
Ciryl Gane is just getting better. Like, he's gonna look better than he did that performance against Rosenstruck. Like, he's gonna start flatlining people here soon. Like, he's going,
and that was his only problem.
Once he starts getting more comfortable, like, because he's got the power. Like, he is
better at his grappling too. People forget he's only been grappling for like 2 or 3 years.
I can see him getting a lot of like takedown and then ground and pound KOs, like where he flatlines him, like Derek Lewis type ground and pound flatline KOs. Like,
that was the only bad thing against the Rosenstrike fight was he could have went for the finish more. He just didn't. He had a pretty much flawless performance. Just needed to be more aggressive. Go for the finish.
He's got no fights.
Gane, man. I love Ciryl Gane, man. I do love him.
That man. No one is.
He's a bad man.
Francis is the only one with a chance, and it's because if he catches him, he's putting anyone out. But I don't see anyone beating that guy. No one. John Jones is my favorite fighter, and I think Ciryl Gane goes right through him. I'm not gonna lie.
I did want to talk about this quick because a lot of people, we actually had a fan question on Twitter about this as well. People are like all in on this Venom deal, like asking questions about it rather, and they're saying that the fighters haven't gained much from the switch from Reebok to Venom, so they are making more money.
Did you see the screenshot?
The numbers are so bad though.
There's like $500 more.
Yeah, it's not a lot. And what's so weird though, like I still don't. It's so weird because the UFC owns stock in Venom. Like they're like part owners of Venom or something like that. So it's just a very weird thing. Listen, UFC fighters, MMA fighters in general get paid so poorly. Like that's what so many people just don't understand. And then and we try to get this a point like across when we do our interviews, when we ask fighters, like they make bad money to begin with, but then they also have to pay for like their camps and the gyms. Like they don't just do that shit for free. It's not like you get drafted by the Cowboys and get to use the Cowboys facilities like for free. You know what I mean? Like they're paying to train wherever they're training and they're paying whoever's in their corner. Mike Perry's the only one doing it the right way, but not paying cornermen.
I'll tell you right now, I don't want to see anyone that is in John Jones's mentions telling him that he's not worth $15 million saying shit about this Venom deal. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because if you are on one side about fighter pay, you have to be on that side. I don't want to hear shit about it. Because this uniform deal is bad, man. It's been bad. I mean, fighters used to make 6 figures off of sponsorships, especially on main card. You're telling me sponsors wouldn't pay, especially now when the numbers are bigger. There's a bigger audience. It's pretty shitty that these fighters are getting paid this much, you know? And I understand it makes everything look better. It does. Like, as much as I didn't like the first, like, round of Reebok uniforms that look like Power Rangers, it does make everything look a little more professional. But at the same time, it's absolute shit that these fighters can't get paid what they're, or more, or actually what they're worth, you know? Because a lot of these fighters are not getting paid much from the UFC. It's all sponsorship deals.
Yeah. And I think the union makes sense too, because you see it in a lot of the other leagues too. I mean, they go on strike, dude. Like, when is the strike going to happen in the UFC? That's what they need to do.
It'll never happen.
It's all state sanctioned too. It's all depends on the states that you're in and everything else. It'll never happen. So like teams and stuff, they're based out of, they deal out of their own state. Like UFC doesn't have a home state. You know what I mean? Like there's no, so it will never happen. There'll never be a fighters union. I think it would be good, but it'll never happen. And Listen, I want fighters to be able to wear whatever they want because Coffee and KOs could possibly get on Chris Daukaus.
Chris
shorts.
Daukaus, man, come on.
$5. He'll let us on his shorts. That'd be sick. He's a cheap bargainer. I feel like we'd be able to get on his shorts easy. And so they need to let sponsors back on the shorts so that we're able to get on there. But yeah, no, the Venom deal is shit. But I'm interested to see what the gear looks like. Reebok was stale as shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. So hopefully they come out with something a little nicer,
a little cool. Still not buying a fight kit, man. I don't give a shit if it's Reeboks or Venom.
Steve's got a couple fight shirts.
Fight
yeah, I got them for like Christmas though, because they're like absurdly expensive.
Yeah, Santa gets that shit for free, so it's
he does. Thanks, Santa.
All right, let's get into this week's card, guys. Honestly, this card is really good. I am a little pissed that Till is out. Till is one of my. I know Aaron is watching. Aaron hates Darren Till. He says he's overrated. I don't think Darren Till is overrated. I thought he put up a really good fight against Robert Whittaker. To me, that's telling. Yeah, he lost the fight, but super telling to go up against Robert Whittaker and, put up a really good fight against him. So I don't think Darren Till is overrated. I didn't like this matchup for him, though. I thought that it was a really tough matchup. And I'll be honest, I like the whole card minus the main event. I think the main event is going to be a snooze fest. But before we get into that, let's just we can talk about a little bit of the prelims here. We got Impa Kasaganai coming back after being knocked out, like the viral knockout of him, which is going to be a really tough fight for him because Sasha Palatrikov, something like that. He actually looked really good in his last fight. I forget who he fought, but I watched it. It was really good. I'm going to look right now. He fought one of the Kosi brothers that they were big on the Contender Series. A lot of people were hyped up about them. William Knight took a quick turnaround. So he was supposed to fight Menefield. That got canceled. Now he's fighting Daun Jun. So that'll be good. Saldana makes his UFC debut. He's actually missing a finger on one of his hands. So stay tuned for that. His UFC debut from the Contender Series. Jack Shore, 13-0. I really like Jack Shore a lot. So excited to see him. Scott Holtzman and Joe Selecki, those two friends of the show. So I'm hyped up for them. Be good. I'm a little nervous for Scott. If I'm being honest with you guys. I think that's gonna. I really like the matchup for Selecki. Jim Miller is a perfect name to have on your win resume, and I think Joe Selecki is the real deal. Like his jiu-jitsu is just absolutely insane, and he's added the striking element. Like he outstruck Austin Hubbard, who is a pretty good boxer. And then just backpack submission. Like he subbed the shit out of Austin Hubbard. Hyped up about that. Mackenzie Dern's back. Mike Perry's back. It's a good card, really, from top to bottom. It's going to be a really good card.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. I think they saved it. Kevin Holland, he's just the dude you call, like you need 2 weeks notice, whatever. I'm in. Sign me up. But he was so quick to jump on that. And it's, it's always fun when Kevin Holland's there. So it'll at least make for an interesting main event. And there's always that chance that he can sleep Vettori. So I like the card. 15 fights on it. It looks really good. We have some good names on there. Impa, we love Impa. He's opening the card. That's amazing. He's an incredible fighter. We just need to forget about that whole Joaquin Buckley thing because I think he's going to turn some heads back in the right direction here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and it's an early card. Nice start time. We got 12 o'clock prelims, 3 o'clock main card. Recap won't be at 2 a.m, so it'll be perfect. Nice recap. So, but yeah, we can get into it. Mike Perry, Daniel Rodriguez lead off the main card, and that's a banger of a fight. Daniel Rodriguez is a guy, he can eat a million shots, get wobbled, still come back and win. We saw his last fight. I forget who he fought, but what was it?
He fought Nicholas Dalby.
Okay, yeah, and he got rocked in that fight, right?
He lost.
He came back and
he lost that fight.
Oh, he lost. Okay, so I'm thinking 2 fights ago. Then he was rocked. Grant? Yes, that fight was crazy. So I like Rodriguez, and the thing is with Mike Perry plus 145, that is not a bad dog, man. Mike Perry is a guy that you just don't know what Mike Perry you're going to get. Are you going to get the Mike Perry that trained and actually sparred and all that other stuff? Or are you going to get the Mike Perry that all he did was run around Miami and cut weight, and that was it? I just saw a video of him sparring with Mike Davis. That's a good sign to me. Mike Davis is a really good boxer.
Now, I think.
I believe so. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I liked his performances with Lattori Gonzalez as his head coach.
Same.
I thought he did great. maybe having your girlfriend in your corner is just like the best base for MMA. I don't know, but yeah, like you said, Mike Perry, you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes he goes out there and he looks like one of the best strikers in the welterweight division, and sometimes he looks like he goes out there just to get a paycheck. So it depends. We'll see what Mike Perry we get. I mean, he's always box office, like you always want to see him, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what he does.
I'm actually going to lean towards Mike Perry in this one. I like what I saw with him training with Mike Davis. Mike Davis is a really good boxer. Mike Perry has the takedown ability. He can wrestle. He out wrestled Mickey Gall, which I don't really like Mickey Gall, but that's the one thing Mickey Gall is good at, and he out wrestled him. So I'm actually going to go Mike Perry on this one. I think knockout's tough. Daniel Rodriguez got a pretty good chin on him. So I'm actually going to go Perry by decision, which is tough because we've seen Mike Perry gas out many times too, especially after the first round. But I'm gonna sit here in hopes that he actually trained and didn't just do it out of his garage or wherever he lives. And I'm gonna go Mike Perry. I'm gonna go decision.
Yeah, this is a tough one to pick. It definitely, like early on, this could be fight of the night. I think two guys who go in there like to go to war definitely will be trading hands the entire time. Perry, just like you said, you don't know who you're gonna get. He's 1-3 in his last 4. The Mickey Gall one, like he just comes out as a wrestler and has a ton of success, and then just turns around and gets a unanimous decision loss to Tim Means. You're like, where are we here? Like, we
can't sleep on Tim Means though. I mean, Tim Means is a savvy vet, man, and he actually looked really good.
Yeah, but don't you think Mike Perry's like beyond the savvy vet, or he should be at least at this point in his career?
At times, yes. At times, no.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the coin flip here. It's like who are you going to get? And I'm going to go with Mike Perry with the underdog money here. I like plus 155. Absolutely. Even sprinkle a little bit on the TKO action. So I'll go Perry TKO.
I like Mike Perry in this fight as well.
Finish?
No, actually, yeah. I'll say second round stoppage for Mike Perry.
TKO. He ain't subbing him. I don't think Mike Perry ever has a sub.
No, he's not subbing him.
I mean, listen, like you look back at the Ellenberger fight when he threw the elbow, like that Mike Perry is a dangerous Mike Perry. I know that's not saying much because it's Jake Ellenberger, but like that's the type of strikes he needs to land. I mean, Mike Perry has that ability. I've always said I think Mike Perry is a top 15 talent if he can just get his head on straight and figure things out. I firmly believe that. Carrie, go ahead.
Mike Perry, real scary, but I don't like it. My name's Carrie. I'm going Daniel Rodriguez decision.
All right. There you have it.
People tune in for Carrie, let's be honest.
Honestly,
yeah, our viewers
Carrie's
just went up just because Carrie's making picks.
Carrie's the best part of the show.
Yeah.
That makes my Monday, guys, because I had a rough day.
It's fine. You're a beautiful man with beautiful picks.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Steve, you want to take us to Nina Ansaroff and Mackenzie Dern?
Yeah, this is actually kind of an awesome fight. So number 5, Nina Ansaroff taking on number 11, Mackenzie Dern. Nina Ansaroff, you might know her. She is married to Amanda Nunes, so they have a child together. But she's actually a really good fighter as well, if you didn't know. More so in the striking department. And then on the flip side, you have Mackenzie Dern, who is a world-class Brazilian jiu-jitsu. She fights in all these different tournaments. She was 75-25-1 in her pro grappling career. No surprise, like she's a hot prospect. A lot of people have eyes on her. I actually don't know if I really like her in this fight. Like, I don't think she's that good at like asserting her dominance and getting the takedowns. I feel like she kind of lucks into it sometimes and is able to get those submissions. Her striking does look a lot better. I will say that she's becoming a lot more well-rounded, but Nina Ansaroff is really good. She's 4-1 in her last 5. She's faced a ton of great competition. And the odds are pretty close here. You can get Nina at minus 120. I am going to go with Nina Ansaroff on this one, and I'll go with decision.
Kieran, go ahead.
I've been pretty excited with Mackenzie Dern. It seems like she's taking her career more seriously now. I mean, she had issues making weight early on. She had a child. She came back. I think she had a toxic boyfriend, broke up with him, and now she's taking her career more seriously. But Nina Ansaroff's pretty solid. Also, she's the wife of the greatest women's MMA fighter of all time. So, but also she's coming back from a long layoff. I mean, she just had a child.
It's true.
She's had a child, and Mackenzie Dern's been trained. I'm going to go with Mackenzie Dern.
Hey, Mackenzie Dern also had a child, though.
I know,
Think about it.
but I think she's already come back from
Far
the
removed from that,
childbirth.
yeah.
And also I think now she's in like the best shape she's ever been in her entire life. Like you look at her early on, she was I don't know. It seemed like she wasn't taking it too seriously. You know, she was like back and forth from Brazil. Now it seems like she's taking her career seriously, and I think you're gonna see her reach her full potential here soon. And I like her in this fight. I think this is a big step up for her, and I think it was warranted. So we're about to see what level Mackenzie Dern really is on. She's, I think, in my opinion, clearly one of the most talented submission artists in all of women's MMA. So we'll see. I'm picking her, though. I'm picking her for the upset this time.
Yeah, so for me, I really like Mackenzie Dern as well. But the one thing that scares me a little bit, her last performance was against Verna Ansaroff. Yep. And she looked pretty good in the first like round or so, and then Ansaroff actually started piecing her up a little bit on the feet, and the fight was a lot closer than what I thought. Like I thought at the end that there was a chance Ansaroff could have won that fight. It was really, really close. So that's kind of what scares me a little bit with Mackenzie Dern. Kieran, what's so funny? Go ahead.
She really looks like Rob Schneider.
She does look like Rob Schneider. You are right. She does.
Oh my god. But yeah. Anyway, yeah.
But
go on, sorry.
so that it scares me a little bit to pick Mackenzie Dern because she did get pieced up on the feet a little bit by Ansaroff, who was not a striker, by the way, like Nina Ansaroff. But I do kind of agree with Kieran. Like Ansaroff literally just had a kid. Like the kid's, I don't even think 6 months old. Is she? Like
I think it was September 2020.
Yeah, like that's not that long ago.
No.
Yeah.
So I think because of that, I'm gonna have to go Mackenzie Dern. I'm gonna go by sub. Actually, I'm gonna say Mackenzie Dern gets it done by submission. Kieran, did you choose a method for Dern?
I did not. I'll go Mackenzie Dern via decision.
Okay.
Mackenzie Dern looking real stern. I think she's gonna teach Ansaroff a lesson she didn't know she needed to learn. I'm gonna go Dern submission.
I like it. Kieran, you want to take us through Sam Alvey, Julian Marquez?
No.
Okay.
No, I think you did that one. We got Smiling Sam Alvey versus a former Topgolf Bay host. He had the same exact job that I did at one point, and if we both know that job was awful. This one's a pretty interesting fight. Sam Alvey's coming off of what did he have? Did he have a draw last fight? Is that what it was? Or was it? Yeah, you had a draw last fight.
Yeah.
Coming off of a 4-fight losing streak. I know me and my friends really want to see him get cut, and it's another one of those situations where if he loses this fight, he's definitely getting cut. At least I hope so. I'm tired of seeing him on main cards because he's always been on main cards when he doesn't deserve to be honest with you. Or he'll be on like the prelims on ESPN when he doesn't deserve to be. It's weird. Yeah, and as you guys know, I love whenever fighters are fighting for the job. It gets a whole different meaning, you know. I've never seen it with Sam Alvey. I'm surprised that he's remained in the UFC this long. I don't know what he's done to Dana White's family to still be in the UFC after 4 straight losses, especially against non-ranked competition. Julian Marquez is coming off of a submission against Maki Pitolo, who I think is a pretty, solid fighter. Maki Pitolo is pretty undersized for that weight class, but at the same time, he hits like a Mack truck. He's been solid, man. You're talking about a dude that has a KO win over Phil Hawes. He subbed Darren Stewart. His only setback was against Alessio Di Chirico or whatever. And a lot of people think like that he won that fight, you know? So I don't know. We'll see. He's coming off of a long layoff. Well, he's fought once. He fought once in February, but then before that, he was coming off of a long layoff, and he looked pretty solid. So I'm taking Julian Marquez, the former Topgolf Bay host, by first round stoppage. Hopefully, good God, I really don't want to see Sam Alvey in the UFC anymore. Like more than Marion Renault, and you guys know how much I hate Marion Renault.
Sam Alvey. The thing with him is he is a guy that's really hard to put away. He's just always there, always in your face, constant. Like, it's like one of those things you look like, how is this man in the UFC? And then like somehow he just seems to, he hasn't gotten it done in a while, but it feels like he somehow still stays in every single fight. And I don't know how, but I think that's going to end this fight. I really like the Cuban Missile Crisis, Julian Marquez.
crazy
actress. It's called Beauty and the Beast. But I like Julian Marquez. I think that he looked really good against Maki Pitolo for having such a long layoff. And I think now, he's kind of got back in the octagon. He's kind of back in the swing of things. I just think everywhere in this fight, he's better than Sam Alvey. I think he's better on the feet. I think he's better on the ground. I think he's going to be stronger. Alvey's a pretty hard guy to put away. He's a guy that he's just, like I said, he just always seems to stay alive. I don't understand how, but he just always seems to stay alive. I really want to take Marquez by finish, like KO, but I don't think it's going to happen. Sam Alvey is just too tough, man. I think
he's weird, man. He has a split decision against Ryan Spann.
Yeah.
He's just like,
it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
He hadn't won a fight since 2018, though. Just wanted to.
And he beat Rashad Evans too, which is crazy.
Judo Dan Kelly beat that Rashad Evans.
I know, but like you said, it's just weird. So I'm actually gonna go Marquez, but I'm gonna go decision. I think it's gonna be. I think he could knock out Sam Alvey easily, but to be safe, I'm gonna go Marquez by decision because there's something about Sam Alvey that he just somehow stays alive. I don't understand it, but he does. I'm
telling you right now, if Sam Alvey wins this fight, you are going to see a pissed off Kieran on this post show. I promise you. You will.
That would be tough. That's Glory MMA for Julian Marquez, so another Glory MMA guy. But yeah, Sam Alvey. I mean, shout out to him. He is going to come on the podcast for an interview at some time. He said he would do it, so we will hold him to that.
Are you out on that one, Kieran?
You're just going to sit out on that interview.
I think by the time we get him on the podcast, you're going to be interviewing a Cage Warriors fighter.
Ooh.
But be honest with you.
Yeah, no, he's 0-4-1 in his last 5, 3-6-1 in his last 10. He has a whole bunch of split decisions. Fun fact, he's actually outstruck 3 of his last 5 opponents. Just has not won any of those fights. I don't know, man. I don't know, and he's lost all of them.
Bad, man. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I can't hold my tongue on Sam Alvey anymore. He's so bad. Like, I don't know. But it's random. Like, he'll just smile, get his ass whooped, his wife's in his corner, or then he'll just, like, sleep somebody randomly. Whenever it was a fun game when I was growing up, but now I'm just like, I don't want to see him anymore. Because he always just puts up some, like, boring fights sometimes, man, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's... Like I can't name how many pay-per-views Sam Alvey's been on the main card of, and it's like really exciting, and then it leads up to the Sam Alvey fight, and it just ruins the mood for the rest of the night. I don't know. Maybe
what I could see happening, this is going to be really sad, is Marquez could come out and just try to finish this dude in like a minute, 2 minutes, blow his load early, and then Sam Alvey somehow just takes over this fight
over here,
that is the method of victory that I hate the most. I might not even be on the post show if that happens.
That could happen.
As soon as you bring it up, I'm pulling one of these right here.
Peace.
Oh, goodness.
No. I like Marquez in this one. Like the fact that he was able to overcome Maki Pitolo's just like barrage of takedowns and wrestling, which is super tiring to withstand. That was awesome. And then obviously to go in round 3 and land that submission like last minute, pulled the victory out. I think Marquez definitely takes this one, and I'll go decision as well. I don't think Alvey will get finished. He's a tough guy.
Bro. Oh my God. If Alvey doesn't get finished, I'm gonna be upset. Even if he wins by decision. Oh my God.
I did say blow his load early. Kendra Lust comments come up. That's actually was not intentional. I'm not that smart to be able to throw 2 and 2 together that quick. So Carrie, go ahead.
Unfortunately for Sam Alvey, he's not Miley Cyrus, because if he was, Julian Marquez loses this fight every time. He'd come in hot first round, lose it in the second round. But I think Julian's going to come in like a wrecking ball and knock out Alvey, so I'm going Marquez knockout.
I changed my pick. I forgot Julian Marquez did that lame-ass shit. I hope Sam Alvey wins, and I hope he doesn't get cut from the UFC. How about that? That was the
last minute.
That was the worst shit I have ever seen. That way, bro, you have an opportunity after a UFC fight, like to do endless amounts of promotion for yourself. And then you like call out Miley Cyrus, which I thought was lame. And then she does you the service of actually replying to you. And then you give her a demand.
Yeah.
Like,
what, bro? Bro. He's a dork. Anyway, never mind.
You still want to change that? You want to change?
I'll change it. I'll change it. Sam Alvey via 17-second flying knee.
That would be crazy.
Oh boy.
I can't believe he did that shit. Never mind. I forgot about that. No,
I was kind of all in on it, honestly, because I feel like he made a name for himself. Everyone was talking about it.
They were.
No, it was cool. It was
Valentine's Day.
But it was definitely afterwards. Like so everyone was instantly talking about it, and then when he ruined it, that was it. It was dead. It just went away. Everyone stopped talking about it after that.
Well, we'll see if he wins this one. Does he go
All
back?
he had to do was just shave some shit in his chest hair, and he was like,
he's going to come into this fight. He's going to come into this fight with MC shaved into his chest.
Will he come out to Miley Cyrus? Will he come out to Miley Cyrus?
He's going to come out to Miley Cyrus, and he's going to have the MC in his chest.
I'll take money on that.
If he does that, then I'm back to my original pick. But if he doesn't do that,
all right, I'll put a note on that.
17-second flying knee.
Also, I want to point out,
Kieran is
just doing a Rubik's Cube as we're speaking, which is hysterical. I don't know if that's him uninterested or he's just a genius.
It helps him get the wheels turning.
ADHD. I just have to do something with my hands while I'm working.
Well, at least you're doing
I'm glad you're playing with a
That's
Rubik's
what I was just
Cube
gonna say.
not listening to Kevin Russ's podcast.
At least it's a Rubik's Cube. Good God. No, I don't know. It just you got me upset talking about Sam Alvey. Oh God. Ask Cool Story Bro in the chat how much he cares about Sam Alvey. I guarantee you're gonna get the same response from me.
Sam Alvey was like in the Hall of Fame.
No, it was like Elias Theodorou. I hope if he puts on like some crazy war with Julian Marquez and ends up getting in like the Fight Hall of Fame,
fight of the night, fight of the year.
I swear to God, I'm jumping off of a bridge. I swear to my.
You're gonna be a
mother.
Bellator fan after that.
I will be a Bellator fan. Shit, I will watch Combate America for only.
Is that like the Luchador MMA?
No, that's like it's like the Hispanic Nations League. It's like where Yair Rodriguez came from.
Oh.
Good God, no. Can we
right.
switch the fight, man? Can we just talk about something else?
Move on.
Wait, we don't want to talk about future opponents for Sam Alvey.
Come on, man.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Top 5 greatest Sam Alvey moments.
We'll do a video on that. We'll do a
What
YouTube
decision
video
against Ryan Spain?
That'll be the most random shit ever.
Honestly, I think Sam Alvey's up there with some of my most hated fighters. I can't stand him. I'm not there for that.
He's such a nice guy.
He really is too. I have a rational hatred for him. I don't know why.
Cool Story Bro says when Jim Crute finished Sam Alvey, he turned into salty Sam Alvey.
He did. He was super upset.
All right. So this one I have a really tough time because I have no idea how the hell to pronounce this guy's name. Aliaskhab.
Khizriev.
Yeah.
Khizriev. Yeah, Khizriev.
Aliaskhab.
Just call him the Russian fighter.
Yeah, the Russian fighter that Kyle Daukaus is fighting.
The undefeated Russian fighter.
13-0 against Kyle Daukaus, who was 10-1. Listen, Chris Daukaus, friend of the show. Kyle Daukaus, future friend of the show, because he's going to come on the show after this fight. Listen, tough matchup. I watched this Russian guy, 13-0. I watched him in the Contender Series. The guy is nasty. He is nasty. He's big, like he's a strong dude.
He's a tank.
Yeah. But Daukaus is no pushover. Daukaus is pretty slept on. Like he's a pretty slept on guy in the UFC. 10-1. He's a lanky dude. He does not. Him and his brother have the complete opposite body types. Like they could not be any more different. His last win, Dustin Stoltzfus, which I'm not honestly. I think Dustin Stoltzfus sucks, so I didn't take too much stock in that. He did lose to Brendan Allen, which Brendan Allen's not terrible. So this is a really tough matchup for Kyle Daukaus. Really, really tough. I'm trying to look at this Russian dude's. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who any of these guys are, but he's got just a ton of finishes. He's win by punches, ground and pound, rear naked choke, punches. Like he can get it done anywhere. So because we're friends with Chris Daukaus, I'm taking Kyle Daukaus. I'm gonna go knockout because he can throw down a little bit. But man, so this is tough because Kyle Daukaus actually has a shit ton of Darce choke wins. In his career, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 8 finishes by sub, 6 of them Darce chokes. That could be tough.
Big
that could be
Darce
tough.
choke.
Yeah. Snapping down a Dagestani's head, though, is just something that doesn't happen, to be
I'm gonna
honest.
go.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know,
go
man.
on a limb here. I'm gonna go Kyle Daukaus. He's gonna finish him. First knockout win of his MMA career as a pro. He's never got a knockout win in his career. It's gonna happen this weekend. I'm gonna bet on it, Kyle Daukaus, because we love you. You've been eating your brother's beer can chicken off that Traeger grill. You're ready to go. Kyle Daukaus, TKO win.
I actually feel like we're saying it's a tough matchup for Kyle Daukaus. I think it's a tough matchup for Khizriev coming in.
Yeah, for a debut.
Being the dominant wrestler, grappler, he can submit a ton of people. He's going against Daukaus, as you said. He's got 10 wins, 8 of them by submission. And Khizriev is 5'9". Daukaus is 6'3", and he's going to have the 2-inch
Holy
reach advantage
shit,
on him.
I did not realize there was that big of a reach advantage.
Long as hell.
Daukaus is massive. He is huge for that. So I think this is actually a tough matchup for Khizriev coming in with his UFC debut. So I actually don't have a problem taking Daukaus in this one, and I think the odds are pretty close in it. And I'll go Daukaus, but by decision.
No, we gotta all go on the Daukaus KO train. It's gonna happen.
Guys, I'm sorry, Chris.
Don't do it.
I'm sorry, Kyle. I gotta go with Khizriev. I think that's how you say it. Dude is a tank. He hits hard, and also the thing is he attacks the body, which for a shorter fighter up against someone as big and long as Kyle Daukaus, I think that's gonna play a big part. I'm gonna go with Khizriev. I'm sorry, Kyle Daukaus and Chris Daukaus. I love you guys.
Family.
Yeah, the whole Daukaus family, guys. Yeah, it's hard going against undefeated Russians. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Khizriev via
Have some respect. Have some respect.
Second round finish, guys. Second round KO. I'm sorry.
Kieran doesn't
I'm
even care. He's like, he
Have
wants to
some
burn all our
respect.
bridges.
Honestly, I don't want to burn
split
bridges.
decision.
I'm just being realistic, yo. But this is the good thing, though. If they come back on the show, they could just go off on me, you know?
Well,
All right.
yeah.
And so yeah,
You'll be the
I'll be
sacrificial
the
lamb.
sacrificial lamb. I don't care. Yeah, but I'm not gonna hold my picks for anyone. I'll tell John Jones to his face. He's my favorite fighter, but I think Ciryl Gane takes him to the woodshed. Be honest.
All right.
Be honest. No shame in my game.
I don't know. I just hate how these Russian fighters just kind of run the UFC, right? So Chris Daukaus, you won't have to block us. We're gonna go 3-1 on you. All right, I'm gonna go Daukaus sub.
I like
Man,
it.
it's gonna be tough.
If Kyle Daukaus wins, I'll be happy though. You know,
Yeah, it's one of
I'm just
those
picking
you
with my
win
brain
either
right
way.
with Sam Alvey, with fighters I hate, I pick with my heart. With fighters I like, I pick with my brain. It's weird. I don't know. You know,
Okay.
Should be the opposite way around. You know, but it's not.
Steve, you want to take us to Arnold Allen Sodiq Yusuff?
Yeah, this is actually a sick fight. I think this could
Banger.
definitely be fight of the night for sure. Arnold Allen, you don't get to see him too often. Usually fights like once a year, if that. But the dude's sitting at the number 10 rank right now. 7-fight win streak in the UFC, 9-fight win streak total. Taking on Sodiq Yusuff, who's number 11. So these guys are neck and neck with each other. Also a very, very good fighter. These guys are both very good. Standing up, great strikers. Yusuff, we just saw him. He just beat Andre Philly. That's a solid win. That is a solid name to have on your record. It was a unanimous decision. This Yusuff is a guy who outstruck Mike Davis earlier in his
on Contender Series.
On the Contender
Yeah,
Series.
it was an insane fight.
Insane fight. So this guy, he scares me. He really does. Yusuff is very, very talented. He's actually Team Nigeria, so he rides with the, Izzy, Usman, all those guys. He's a tough fighter. But Arnold Allen is also a very good striker and has the ground game to kind of go with it. He was using a lot of those like takedowns early on in his career. He had 8 takedowns in his first 3 UFC fights. Then he goes in and didn't really use that for the next 4 fights. So he's more of a stand-up striker. I don't know who to pick in this one. This is just a coin flip to me. I think out of respect for Lewis at Norton MMA, I got to go with the UK guy. I got to go with Arnold Allen. I love Sodiq Yusuff. I think this is an amazing fight. Either way you take it, you can't go wrong. But I'm going to go Allen decision.
I'm really high on Sodiq Yusuff. I like Arnold Allen as well. The only thing about Arnold Allen is just like activity, man. He's had 8 fights since he joined the UFC in 2015, and he's won all of them. and he's ranked, but at the same time, it's like a 1 fight a year deal that he has going on right now. Sodiq Yusuff, he's coming off of a pretty lengthy layoff after that Andre Fili fight. I thought he was going to look a little more impressive than he actually did, but he didn't. I don't know. I'm really high on Sodiq Yusuff though. I think his potential is limitless, so I'm going to take him in this fight. This is a huge step up for both of these gentlemen, though. I mean, Arnold Allen, it's a big step up. It's the first like legitimate top 10 fighter that I think he's fighting. And then for Sodiq Yusuff, Arnold Allen's, I think that first legitimate top 10 fighter that he's fighting as well. I think it was a brilliant matchmaking. I'm just hoping for more activity out of Allen if he does get past this test. But I don't think he does. I'm going to go with Yusuff via second round knockout.
And both these guys are only 27 years old.
Yeah, young. Arnold Allen, I mean, like, I get it. He's been growing, but at the same time, I want more activity from him. He's only fought 8 times.
Between him and Leon, they don't fight.
Yeah, 8 times.
UK fighters.
Darren Till, same shit.
Darren Till, yeah.
I've been going back and forth between both of these guys' records, looking at it's pretty equal. Like, I know Allen has more fights, but you look at the level of competition, like they each have like 2 like pretty notable names on their resume. Like Allen has Nick Lentz, Gilbert Melendez, which are pretty decent names. Marquez Amirkhani, which was a split decision. And then Sodiq Yusuff has Andre Fili, Gabriel Benitez, and then Mike Davis. So like for me, pretty equal, really, really tough. Allen on a 9-fight win streak, Sodiq Yusuff on a 6-fight win streak. It's just as dead even as it gets. So I'm really having a rough time choosing. I'm literally going to just take Sodiq Yusuff by finish, and I think I'm going to take him just because the Nigerian fighters are on a tear. And that's literally going to be my only reasoning. Because I just don't know. Like, to me, it's just so even. It's so razor thin that I think Sodiq Yusuff is going to have a little bit more power. He's a pretty strong dude for that division. But if it gets to the ground, Allen does have a few choke wins to his record, so it's kind of like you don't know. I just think that he's gonna have a little bit more power, but that's just this shot in the dark. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way.
Yeah, there's so it's 5'8" versus 5'9", 70-inch reach versus 71-inch reach. They're both 27, both on the win streak, only with 1 loss on records. Like, this is phenomenal matchmaking. You don't really see it too early on in the career like this, so this is gonna be awesome.
Growing up, I was a huge fan of Hey Arnold. Fantastic show to watch as a kid. And also, Arnold Allen is a distant nephew of Tim the Toolman Taylor, Tim Allen. So I think he's going to come in there and bring more power. I'm going Arnold Allen. I'm going decision.
Is that guy your hero? Is Tim Allen like your hero?
I love Tim Allen.
That show is like probably
Home Improvement.
That's probably Home Improvement is probably my all-time favorite sitcom ever. Hysterical. Really? Oh my God, dude. That show is it's so funny. Because you want to know why? It's my dad to a T. Like, my dad tries to be handy.
I can
just
see that.
Messes everything up. So I just feel like it's like perfect. Just perfect. I feel like it replicates my family to a T.
Shout out Tim Allen.
I love that show. Kieran, I'm going to allow you, if you want, to take us through the main event.
Okay. So for the main event, we have Marvin Vettori going up against late replacement Kevin Holland. I mean, Marvin Vettori, he's been on a tear. He's looked dominant after losing to Izzy and then going on a suspension because he popped for, I don't know, whatever. But he's looked great. Now Darren Till pulls out and Kevin Holland steps in about 2 weeks removed from 2-3 weeks removed from that awful performance against Derek Brunson. This fight doesn't really have me too excited, to be honest with you. I think Marvin Vettori does the exact same thing that Derek Brunson did to Kevin Holland. I mean, Vettori could always get caught, but I mean, the dude is a tank. He has a chin like crazy. It's a really tough fight for Kevin Holland, and I think it was just kind of a throw-in main event there. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm taking Vettori via dominant decision, though. I don't see how it would go any other way. Vittori's huge for that weight class as well. You're talking about another guy that walks around at probably like 210, 215 pounds. So, yeah, I'm going Vettori.
Yeah, I'm going Vettori too. I think his last 2 wins are better than, aside from Jacare Souza, better than any other win that Kevin Holland has. He's looked really, really good, crazy strong for the division. I'm not too sold on the stand up yet. His wrestling is good, but Hermanson not the best striker. Roberson okay, but I'm not so sold on that. So I think he's got to get the fight to the ground. But as we saw with Derek Brunson, he should not have any trouble getting Kevin Holland to the ground and just dominating him. I have Vettori by decision, but I would not be surprised if rounds 4 or 5, Kevin Holland is gassed and maybe, Vettori can land some ground and pound or throw up a sub. Kevin Holland is a pretty tough guy to finish, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. I think that'll go all 5, but I'm not sold on Kevin Holland. But we said it in the group chat earlier in the week. This will be the fight that Kevin Holland goes out and somehow knocks out Vettori in the first round. So that's just how MMA works. But yeah, if the logical pick for me would be Marvin Vettori. So that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, and I'll complete the trifecta. I will take Marvin Vettori as well. It was very telling in his last fight against Jack Hermanson. That was really like his big first test. Obviously, the Izzy fight, he lost that one. Split decision, everyone kind of looks back and they're like, oh, that's the guy who went split decision, gave a ton of problems to Izzy. That's awesome on his record. But then the Jack Hermanson dominant win where he actually outstruck Hermanson, nearly finished the fight a few times. He just looked very good. The cardio concerns, there's no question about that. He can go the 5 rounds. And why the hell would anyone pick Kevin Holland based on his last performance? Like, I'd say if you chose 95% of other fighters and you said, all right, Brunson just did that to you. Vettori can do the same exact thing. You should do something different. 95% of fighters would probably do something different. I think Kevin Holland won't because he's an idiot. And I think he will suffer the same exact fate. And I think Brunson, if he had thrown more ground and pound, could have easily finished that fight. He just was not very active. Vettori's going to go in there. He's pissed because he wanted to fight Darren Till so bad. And he wanted to go in there, make a huge statement with a big name like Darren Till. Now he gets served. Kevin Holland, he's going to be pissed. He's going to finish this fight. I have no respect for Kevin Holland. So Vettori, TKO.
With that being said, I might throw a couple bucks on Kevin Holland by finish.
Sure.
Just saying.
Why not?
Yeah. I mean, I think Kevin Holland has a chance.
Sure.
It's just, this fight, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This fight does absolutely nothing to me.
It's a snoozer.
It might be good. It might be exciting. I think the trash talk's going to be fun, but at the same time, I think the co-main event, Arnold Allen versus Sodiq Yusuff, has more divisional implications than this fight does. And I understand Marvin Vettori's one fight away from a title shot. I don't think he fares well in that title shot. I know he looked good against Jack Hermanson. I'm just not that sold on him, But we'll see. I really wish he could have gotten that Till matchup because I think the winner of that possibly could have gotten a title shot, especially with where 185 is right now. But this fight just doesn't get me excited because, Darren Till versus him, I think you'd have an opportunity to see if Till was capable of keeping Vettori off of him. But this fight is just we just saw it 2 weeks ago. Say it was months and months of time. Okay, cool. We have a serious conversation here about growth.
You get a better chin with Vettori and someone who's going to be a lot more active with the ground and pound. He's a more dangerous Derek Brunson. So
much better gas tank too.
Yeah.
I think the fun in this is just going to be the trash talk. And that's going to be probably the best part. If Kevin Holland goes out there and wins, I'll be really excited, to be honest with you. It'll be fun. But at the same time, what do you do after that? I'm not too high on him fighting anyone else higher ranked than Vettori, So I don't know. It's pretty unfortunate that Darren Till had to pull out. That's just the way I feel about it.
Right, I agree.
Yeah. Should have been Sam Alvey, Julian Marquez as the main event, in my opinion. Just saying, Kieran.
Kieran's out. He's out of here.
Karen, go ahead.
Going back to my childhood again, there was a movie called Home Alone. In that movie, one of the bad guys was Marv. But in this case, I think Marv's going to come out a good guy. I don't think Holland learned his lesson. I really don't. So I'm taking Vettori decision.
We got a
Carrie
for that one.
Carrie, I'm sorry. Carrie took Vettori by decision.
Gotcha.
You missed it.
I'm upset I missed it. I'll have to watch it back.
He compared Vettori to Marv from Home Alone.
Yeah. Who's the bad guy, but will now be the good guy?
Good guy.
Yeah.
Also, Vettori across the board, that's notoriously bad on coffee and KOs.
Aaron said this is a tougher fight than Till for Vettori.
That's because Aaron hates Darren Till. He hates.
All right. Yeah, he's smoking dust on that one. I don't know what
that's
he's talking
crazy,
about.
man.
He just ripped that bong.
Yeah, no, he just took a huge.
I mean,
Aaron is
Till's a better
notorious
striker,
for-
no?
Aaron is notorious for loving. He will back any Russian fighter. I feel like he shits on every European fighter, every single one. Like he hates every single UK fighter. But yeah, he doesn't give Darren Till any credit because he says he's overhyped. He says he's the most overhyped fighter in the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think he's lost against every elite fighter that he's gone up against. Like he definitely lost that fight against Eagle Wonderboy Thompson, in my opinion.
But he looks better at this division, though.
Yeah, no, he does. I mean, he shut down Kelvin Gastelum's game easily, like before anyone else did. You know, he's solid.
Yeah, he said Till is a better striker.
Yeah,
Till is a better striker. Yeah, and if Vettori's coming in and Till's counter striking is like top 3.
Till is wolf tickets. Oh my goodness, we're getting way off track here because Darren Till is one of my favorite fighters, man. I love Darren Till.
I'm just excited for MMA to be back on television. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I might go live a couple times on Saturday because it's just going to be here by myself. Carrie's actually not going to be here Saturday, so I might go live on Instagram a couple times. So if anyone wants to join, feel free. I'll maybe talk about some stuff. Why not? See what happens. But
always fun
that's going to do it, guys.
Stuff.
Yeah, stuff. Just a stuff Instagram. But that's going to do it, guys. Anything else for the good of the cause before we shut her down?
I did like that March Madness, like you could vote in the story type of thing, and I forget who won.
I'm going Gonzaga. Can't stand Baylor. Going Gonzaga.
Oh yeah, tonight I'm going Baylor. It's just a Texas
Gonzaga.
matchup, right?
Yeah, Gonzaga's not from Texas, but yeah.
No,
no, Gonzaga's not from Texas. No, Baylor is.
I don't know where the fuck Gonzaga
can't stand
is.
Baylor. Gonzaga's in. I think Villanova's in like Philadelphia. Where is
Gonzaga? Might be like Indiana or something.
I have no clue where Gonzaga is. It's somewhere northeast.
No, Baylor points tonight. They got plus 4.5.
Taking Gonzaga all the way. I want an undefeated season.
Yeah. Plus, they got the dude with the stash, the handlebars.
Gonzaga's in Spokane, Washington.
Jesus Christ!
Wow, I didn't know that at all. That's crazy. Yeah, and Baylor's in Waco, Texas. So yeah, not going with Baylor. You see the flag back here. You see it. I can't go with Baylor.
I got you.
One of our rivals.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. We're excited to be back. Finally, after a week off, we're back. You can find us on Saturday. We will be recapping the card once it's over. Me, Kieran, Aaron, Josh. It's always a packed show. Always fun. We always enjoy it. Kieran's continuing his Rubik's Cube because he is a genius. He can do that while he talks UFC. It's pretty incredible. Other than that, find us on Instagram. Find us on Twitter, Coffee and KOs 1. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for our YouTube channel. We're always posting tons of videos every single week, grinding, creating content. And that's going to do it. We'll see you all next time.